goes aside from my soul.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I just got a message for my opinion on at what age do we stop consulting each other, to be a boyfriend or girlfriend. So, and let me make sure I read that correctly. It says, at what age do we stop consulting or asking each other to be boyfriends and girlfriends? Well, that was a very good question. Thank you for asking that question. Now, I gotta make this a personal thing because I just have to. I'm gonna take it back to like middle school when I saw it the best. I think that there is no such thing as an age where you stop consulting, because it shouldn't have never been that way. Like, okay, so think about it. Let's go back to like middle school days where you find someone that you're attracted to, right? It was always somebody else that would say, "Oh, I see you guys," give them that Google look, that Google eyes, and that flirtatiousness, right? And they'd be like, and it's the pressure came from somebody else, like, "Why don't you go and ask him out? Why don't you go and ask her out?" And so remember the little notes back in the day, like you have a little note that says, "Will you go out with me?" Check box, yes or no, or maybe, and that's what we do. But the pressure always came from somebody else, never really ourselves. We never really had that pressure to go after somebody and say, "Hey, I like you, I want you, I want to be with you." We never had that. It's just always somebody else. Even think about when you get older. Let's say you're hanging out with somebody, the energy is cool, energy is good. Somebody's always asking, whether it's somebody's mom or somebody's grandmother or somebody, like, so when are you guys gonna go out? When are you guys gonna get married? When are you guys gonna have kids? So the pressure always comes at somebody else. So the thing is, okay, so we try to now be together and be one, and there's so much friction in that oneness that we end up falling apart and going our separate ways, and it doesn't work. And so my opinion is that I think it stems from the movies that we've watched, all of those little romantic, sweet Cinderella movies, where it's like, she is in her little cubby space and he comes running, with his, armor, and he sees her and he's like, you come here. And then you go happily ever after. It does not work that way. It does not work that way at all, and I think that we have done so much damage to ourselves as human beings trying to fit this, relationship ideas as one, and we just keep falling apart left and right. We just keep bumping ahead left and right. Whereas I think that the idea should always be, when you can connect with someone and have that purity of friendship, and that's what it is. You just go with that energy, go with that flow, and with no pressure of somebody else, Think about it. The pressure is always from somebody else. It's the person, the Christian. It's the person, the Muslim. It's the person this. It's the person that. So we have so much that goes into, ourselves, the pressure to ourselves. Why? So until we are able to now take a deep breath, untangle all of these things that we have had in our brains for years, and then start to build our own self-worth, build our own self-value, build just our own self as a whole, have self-care for ourselves, and then meet somebody else that has the exact same thing, self-worth, self-value, so we don't have to depend on somebody else to find the worth in us, to find the value in us, then we have a chance at actually having a good relationship, because the idea is to be with your best friend, someone that you can talk to, someone that you can be free with, someone that you can just be yourself, be open and honest. When you have someone that you can be open and honest with about everything, that's when you win. But the only way we can get there is by untangling the mess that we have seen on television, social media, whatever else that says what an idea of a relationship is, because it is not. It's not the money, it's just the energy that you have with somebody else, and taking the time to build it slowly but surely, and not allowing other people's influence destroy what you have. when you meet somebody new, people always like to take a picture of, of each other and be like, and then post it on Facebook so that people can see. Why? Because you need somebody else's approval, of what you got going on for yourself. Why don't you just keep that private for yourself, and build your own thing, you know what I'm saying? And build that, and don't need anybody else's approval. But because the way we have been programmed, we need somebody else's approval. We want to be with him because he got it going on. And if I could be seen with him, yeah, I'm all good. Woo, they'll be like, woo. If I could be seen with her, they'd be like, wow, you got to find one there. We always need somebody else's approval. We always need somebody to check us off that we're doing it right. Why? Because we lack the self-worth and self-value in ourselves. We lack it. So until then, you got a long way to go. And until then, until you build your self-worth, it's going to be hard to be in a good, healthy, long-lasting relationship. So that's my opinion. So there's no age. I just think that there's no age, to, have that question of, let me just double check that. At what age do we stop consulting and asking each other to be boyfriend and girlfriend? There should be no age at all, because it should have never been there in the first place. That pressure, get together, get married, everything will be great. No. Until you build yourself, right? And somebody else builds themselves and you guys meet and you guys are able to communicate, you guys are able to talk and be real with each other, is when you have a chance. Until then, think about it. We have 40-year-old boys, 50-year-old girls. We have people that are old in age but are still boyish and still girlish because they have not matured yet. They don't have that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. And until then, you know what I'm saying? So that's just my thought process. There's no age to it. Get yourself right, get yourself mentally healthy, and that self-care, self-love, and then you have a chance. Because then that way, you're not dependent on somebody else to make you feel valuable. Only if you can see your worth right now, you'll be so amazing. But until then, you're going to continue to depend on somebody else, that you're worthy. And that's not the case. That's just too much power on somebody else. All right? So you have it all. You have what it takes, and if you have any, actually share your thoughts on this one. Share your opinion on this one, and let's go from there. But that's just my thought. And have a great day. One love, big hugs, and until next time, peace. Already.